Welcome to Finding Folklore. This is the story I told at my first live performance last night. Thank you to everyone who made it. For everyone else, I hope you enjoy the story. It is originally a traveller's tale that I remember my gran telling me as a child. Whether it was appropriate as a bedtime story or not, I will let you be the judge. A long time ago, there lived a young man named Jack who stayed with his mum. Every day, Jack would walk down to the sea and look out and dream of a new life, a better life. And one day, while gazing out on the ocean, he saw something he had never seen before. A beautiful, red-headed woman with the tail of a fish. A mermaid. And he instantly knew he had to have her. But Jack didn't know anything about catching mermaids. Jack didn't even know anything about catching fish. So, after hours of trying, Jack went home empty-handed and disappointed. Over dinner, he asked his mum, "Mum, how do I catch a mermaid?" "There's no such thing as mermaids," she told him. Well, after some discussion, Jack convinced his mum that he did in fact see a mermaid. "I recommend you leave it alone," she said. "Nothing good ever happens when someone tries to catch a mermaid. But if you insist, then the only way I know to catch one is to go and see Blind Rory and have him make you a net. But I'll warn you, lad, no good can come of this." Well, the next day, ignoring his mum's warning, Jack set off in pursuit of Blind Rory. And he walked until he came across an old man. "Old man, can you help me find Blind Rory?" Jack asked. "What do you want Blind Rory for?" asked the old man. "That man is in cahoots with the devil. No good comes from dealing with Blind Rory." "I need him to help me catch a mermaid," said Jack. And after much debate, the old man reluctantly pointed Jack in the direction of Blind Rory, down to a cave. Jack set off to this cave, and he walked for an hour or so before arriving. And in the cave, he found Blind Rory, an old man with a hunched back and crazy grey beard and hair. His eyes were white, and Jack could have sworn for a second that the old man's feet were hooved. But it must have been a trick of the light, for his feet looked normal enough a second later. "What can I do for you?" asked Blind Rory. And Jack explained that he needed a net to catch a mermaid. "I can give you such a net," said Blind Rory. "But I warn you, once you take the net, there's no giving it back. And whatever you catch is yours to keep. There's no returning it to the ocean." Jack took the net and set off on his way. The day after arriving home, Jack cast his net out, laid it into the ocean to catch himself a mermaid, and only moments later found the net full. He pulled it ashore, but it was no mermaid he had caught. It was a sea witch. Her skin was grey, her hair long and green like seaweed, and her teeth and nails were made from coral. Well, Jack didn't want any part of a sea witch, so he tossed her back in the ocean. But as if by magic, she appeared back in his net. He tried again and again before reluctantly giving up and carrying the sea witch back to his house, where she screamed at him and cursed him to make him dinner, and so he did. And she cut him in the face with her nails, complaining it was too hot. She forced him to lay her by the fire, where she relaxed and fell asleep. And so his life went. Every morning, Jack would carry the witch down to the sea where she would bathe, and every evening he would cook her dinner and place her by the fire. And multiple times a day, she would cut him or bite him and curse him. Eventually, Jack's mum left to live with her sister, unable to live in the house, and Jack lived in hell. And one day, Jack went out to visit his mum and his aunt while the sea witch bathed, and he asked them, "Is there any way to kill a sea witch?" Well, Jack's aunt knew of one, and she told him of the way. And so that night, after Jack made the witch some dinner, he placed her a little closer to the fire than usual, and eventually she started to fall asleep. Then Jack took a knife, pounced on the witch, cutting off her hair. He quickly lassoed her with her hair as quickly as he could and tossed her on the fire, where she burned up. And that was the end of the witch. From that day forward, Jack went out and looked to the sea and saw the mermaid. He still loved her, and he still wanted her, but he never cast his net out to catch her again. And as far as I know, to this very day, that net still sits in the attic of the house that was once Jack's, waiting to catch a mermaid, or maybe a witch. Thank you for joining us. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this story. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with another tale. And until then, may the devil walk behind you. Bye for now.